Hello Saints, and welcome back to Wakefulness Theology. My name is Messenger Paula. I'm back here today with another episode talking about the secret meeting place. In this one, right now, we're talking about understanding the timeline, and the same thing happened again. I, in my small mind, thought that I was going to do a comparison, or thought that he wanted me to do a comparison between the hidden timelines in John 21 and Numbers 13. That's a playlist that you guys can go back and look. And I was going to compare those hidden timelines to the technology, and I wanted to show how they match up and how time is short and the urgency and all of that kind of stuff. Turns out that's not what he wanted at all. Last night he showed me a hidden timeline in Revelation 12 that matches the timelines and the hidden timelines in John and Numbers that he gave me before. So this is incredible. Not only does it show 3 hidden timelines in the Bible, they match each other and they tell us what time we're living in Revelation 12. This is like huge. I wish I had a phone that I could call every member of the 12 tribes and be like, you guys will not believe this. I really wish there was a 12 tribes of Israel hotline I could call. Okay, so I'm going to do the best I can to explain this because I don't have much time. I'm going on vacation to Mallorca, Spain on Thursday, and if I don't tell you guys this now, the Holy Spirit is going to be yearning and turning in me the whole time, because I don't get peace if I'm not doing what Yahushua wants me to do, the Holy Spirit wants me to do. I don't get any peace. Okay, so I'm hoping I'm going to get this out to you guys, and then I'm going to be able to enjoy my vacation. So no, it's not perfectly organized. I just have to get it out to you guys before I leave. All right, I'm going to give you the pieces, I'm going to give you the dots and let you sit on that, and then I'll come back after and try to clarify when I can. So the main point is that the woman of Revelation 12 sign happened in 2012. Now, I was going to tell you guys this in other videos that I've done before, but okay, 9 Nanya. Okay, we talked about her before. Some people believe her, some people don't believe her. That's fine. You can believe her what you want or what you don't want. But as we said before, your belief or anyone's belief does not change facts. Okay, so we're going to talk about the facts here, not anybody's belief. We're going to talk about facts. All right. So in the past, she had said, I was watching her in 2012, I was watching her channel, and she was saying back then that, the sign had happened. So I was like, okay, because I'm not an astrologer, I'm not an astronomer. I don't know anything about, the stars outside of what Yahushua teaches me. So I was like, okay, if you say so, I don't know. Okay. And then time goes on, and now it's 2017, and all of a sudden everybody and their mama is like, oh, the 2012 sign. And in my mind, I'm thinking, well, that was supposed to have already happened. But since I don't know, I didn't say anything. I was like, all right, whatever. And then she came out with this video right here, September 14th. So when she came out with the video and I watched it, she proved to me that she is correct. Okay, not because of faith, not because of belief. She proved to me that it was correct. And I'm going to just give you the points of her proof. And you go back and watch this video. And, it's not a long video. It's under 20 minutes. So you can watch it for yourself and you can decide for yourself. But I know it's true. Okay, I know it's true for one, because I lived the experience, which I will show to you. I know for two, because she proves the heck out of it. I know for three, because I've gotten the same signs that she's talking about. And I also know it's true because it lines up with the the hidden Bible timeline that is in Revelation 12. And that's how I saw it. It helped when this kicked it off. This information kicked off Yahushua was showing me the hidden Bible timeline in Revelation 12, and it all lines up. So that's how I know it's true. I'm going to try to show you right now. Okay, so in her video, like I said, just it's better to watch her video instead of having me explain it to you, but I know that majority of y'all won't go and watch the video, so here. Her point is that there's 5 major points that need to be met in order for it to be the revelation sign. So one is that a second sign will appear in heaven, the red dragon. It also has to have the comet asteroid, because there's a meteor shower that happens in that constellation every year. So that has to happen around the time of the sign. You have to have the Draco constellation before the Virgin in the sky. But one of the points that is not met is this one right here. The dragon has to be waiting to devour the child as soon as it's born, and the planet Saturn must be below the Virgo birth line, etc. So it's missing 2 or 3 points. So I just took screen captures from her video, and this is one of the things that for me it was the nail in the coffin, that what she's saying is true. Because for this sign to happen, you need the cluster of stars. She needs to have a crown, right? And people that are saying the 2017 sign is this sign, Revelation 12, is because they have the lineup of the planets above the woman's head, but that's not the crown of stars. The crown of stars is this M87, Messier 87, and it's a galaxy, a super giant galaxy. Right here you can kind of see it superimposed in the head region, which is Virgo. And what it is it's an orbiting the galaxy. The galaxy is an abnormal large population of 12,000 globular clusters, and it's made of 12,000 globular clusters, okay? I'm getting to it. So that region, that what did I say, 87? So that M87 star cluster is representing the crown of the woman. And you know why? Because in the Bible it's talking about she has a crown of 12 stars represented by, and the 12 stars represents the 12 tribes, right? And here you got the ephod and everything we've been talking about with the gems and everything on that crown, right? Y'all check this out. This is really like the killer for me. In the verse, there are sealed 144,000 of the tribes, and that's 12,000 from each tribe, okay? You need the crown, and the crown is here, M87. There's 12,000 globular clusters, and that represents the crown, because you have the 12,000 in each of the 12 tribes, okay? So that is representing the crown of the woman. Does that not make sense? It makes a whole lot more sense than what the other people are saying are the crown. That, come on. Y'all can take that to the bank. You know that is right. You know that is right. And not only that, I know it's right because here's a very good example. I got an email from Sister Marie on August 4th. On August 1st, the Holy Spirit is like teaching me about the tribes and the zodiac signs, and I found a picture where the zodiac sign and the tribes is opposed to each other, because everything is twisted, as you said, that our enemy is copying everything. After that, I had a dream on 2 August and the 2nd of August, and I think I talked to God, but I didn't hear his voice. It was just like telepathic. It was in a room alone, sitting on a table, and I was pointing with my index finger on Aries and Zebulun, if this is a correct form. And he kind of nodded and said telepathically, yes, I think. The room was white, so I had a feeling to show you what I found. As you said, I am from Zebulun. And my zodiac sign is Aries. I was born in April 8th. Could this be true? So and my response was, yes, sister, I am being taught the same message. It's quite complex and I'm still learning myself. Thank you for sending. It will be very helpful in my understanding. It has everything to do with the stars and Enoch's calendar. Father, bless you, lovely sister. So this was on April 4th and 5th. So the father, before she sent me this email, he was already trying to explain to me about in the stars, The stars are representing the 12 tribes, the Enoch's calendar, and the gates of New Jerusalem, and all of that they match the constellation. So I'm not about to get into that in this video because I'm learning it myself. I'm trying to understand it myself. But what I'm telling you is he was already teaching me about how the stars represent the 12 tribes. Okay, so when she brought this up and she was like, the crown of the woman represents the 12,000 from the 12 tribes, I was like, oh, heck yes, it does. That is right. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm not trying to convince anybody. I'm just telling you. I'm just presenting what it is. This is what they consider the crown, is this lineup of planets here, if I'm not mistaken. And that is not, the argument is weak compared to the M87 cluster of stars, 12,000. Come on. So in addition to that, and most importantly, Jupiter does not represent Jesus. For me, this took the cake. Y'all, this took the cake. Ooh, 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 ooh. So the whole point is that you have the woman. It's kind of hard to see on this particular thing, but right here, if you look here, this is her hips, and these are her legs, okay? And then you see where Jupiter is. This is just passing what they would call the birth canal. So what they're saying is that this, in order for this September 23rd to be the sign, this would have to represent Jesus. This represents the son of Satan. It does not represent Jesus. I will say it again. It represents the son of Satan. Did you? It represents the son of Satan. It does not represent Jesus. Okay. And this is why when the real sign happened, it was like crickets. And now it's all like everyone talking about it. You know why? Because it's false. Well, it's not false. It's representing the false one. So it's important. It's very, very highly significant. It's just not the real one. So then she goes in and she says that here. She says it's not that it's not important. It is important. It's just not saying the same thing as what the 2012 sign was saying. And it even makes sense. The sign of Revelation 12 happened in 2012. The sign of Revelation 12 happened in 2012. Does that not even match up? That makes sense, doesn't it? All right, so right here it says, the Bible says it's the sun. When you go through, she breaks it down in a video. When you go through and you're looking at symbolism, Yeshua Hamashiach, King of Kings, is the sun, represented by the sun, son. Don't get it twisted. Look at the sun and look at Jupiter and then look at Earth. So which one, in your estimation, is going to represent King of Kings, Lord of Lords, King of the eternal realms? Which one? Do you think Jupiter is going to represent Jesus? It's the sun. Come on now, y'all. Come on now. Stop that. So Jupiter was the god king of the Roman Empire, which is the beast system. So you can see that this is the case for September 23rd. So then she goes and shows how it's actually birthing Jupiter, and it is not birthing the sun, okay? It is birthing Satan. This Revelation 12 sign is the hearkening to the Prince of Persia, the what you guys would call the Antichrist, or the son of perdition. That is who this sign is hearkening unto. And it's the problem with our religions in the world right now, because most of these religions are worshiping Satan. They are not worshiping the Most High God. The real church has left the brick and mortar churches a long time ago. I'm not saying if you are in a brick and mortar church that, I'm not judging anybody. I don't know you. I'm saying the majority of the situation is that way. So Satan was another beast god of the Roman Empire, Saturn. So the myth about Saturn is that because you need the Saturn sign in order for the Revelation 12 sign to work. And so the mythology is that Saturn eats his children upon their birth. And that's why in the verse it talks about he wants to eat the man-child that's born. Right here, Saturn. So What she's explaining is that originally Satan was not written Satan, it was written Stn. Okay, because a lot of times with the Hebrew, they don't have the vowels the same way that we do, and we add in, letters. So actually Greek root here. So it was Stn. So Saturn represents Satan. Okay, and that's one of the problems with we have a lot of Saturn worship in this world. And once you understand all the different symbols for Saturn, you will see that people are actually worshiping Satan. They think they're worshiping God, but they're not. They're worshiping Saturn. Okay, black boxes represents Saturn. Okay, the black cube, Saturn. That's another story. Y'all need to do that study on your own. So Jupiter is literally the son of Satan, the man of perdition, the Antichrist. The prince of Persia is coming. And this is the symbol, this sign right here. Right here, Jupiter. The sun is up here. In 2012, you had the sun being born. Saturn, therefore, must be present. So here you have her crown. Okay, and she really goes into more depth explaining why that you have to have that as the crown. And Saturn, this is the 2012 sign. So in 2012, you had the sun being born, you had her wearing the crowns, and then you had Saturn there waiting to eat the man-child. So that is the correct way that it should look, actually. But the way that it is this year, see, standing before Virgo and in a position that is close proximity, waiting to devour. So there you go. That was the 2012 sign. And the way that it is this year in 2017, Saturn is way over here in this other constellation. The woman is here. You see Virgo and Jupiter being born. And Saturn is way over here. So it doesn't even match up a little bit, because Saturn has to be waiting to devour the man-child. So I don't even get, I mean, look, it's this simple. If everyone is saying it, then you know it's wrong. If everybody in the world is saying, that's right, that's true, then it's wrong. And you know why? Because in Revelation 12:9 it says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, and he deceiveth the whole world. Satan deceives the whole world. The whole world is turned upside down, and the whole world is backwards. What was right is wrong, and what's wrong is right. So if everybody is saying this is right, it's wrong. Period. It's in scripture, and that's my experience. Okay? So when the real sign happened in 2012, which really was hearkening to the waking up of the body of Christ on earth, everybody slept through that, crickets. And now that it's hearkening into the coming of the Prince of Persia, all of a sudden it's the big jubilee. Well, there you go. That's the world we live in. So I know this also true because all of that I just told you, go to her video and you'll see that. I mean, that's proof. That is hardcore proof. It's very hard to refute that. Belief or no belief is pretty hard. But I also know from my own experience, because in 2011, I had my awakening. In 29, okay, I've said this in other videos, but I have to say it again for new people. I came to France, left everything, followed Yahushua. I came to France, $500 in my pocket and not a plan. I just followed God. He told me to come here. I came here. Started seeing the numbers. Okay, the holy letters. Didn't understand. Life lived on. I just struggled and did what I could. It developed. In 2009, my worst nightmare came true, and I lost my aunt and my grandma, who are my parents pretty much. When that happened, I was already looking for God, because I had already understood the conspiracy theory stuff. I had already, a lot of you young whippersnappers are just now getting into the Illuminati stuff. I was into that like 2004, okay? So, whippersnappers. But it's cute. People try to come on my channel and try to tell me stuff like, oh, did you know that? Girl, I knew that long time ago. Before I even had a computer, I was looking at some of these people. So, look, I got off track. So, I knew that Satan, it was his world. I knew that all this was evil. I knew everything was a lie. But I was trying to find the Father, the real Father. I was like, I need to find God, the real God. And in 2009, when they died, my whole world shattered, and the only way that I could survive is to be hidden in the Most High. So that's when everything really started coming together, and that was 2009. So 2011, I was trying to find my spiritual practice because I didn't believe in religion, so I had to figure out, well, what am I doing here? And 2011 was when you had 11, some of you might remember, there was the November 11th, 2011. And that was important because it was 11, 11, 11. And then on that day, a lot of, I don't know if millions of people got together around the world, and we prayed and we meditated, and I felt something move on that day. Okay, something happened on 11, 11, 11. It did. And I thank God I was a part of that. I did my prayer and my meditation with my friend and everything. And then 2012 came around, and then we had the same kind of phenomenon where I felt the door opening. I felt power, energy. I felt like everything. Of course, the evil one was trying to tell us that on 2012 it was going to be doom and gloom, and the world was going to be over. And I knew that that was a lie because I had studied before, way before it had come. I was like, oh, here in the 2012, or reading the 2012. And so when it was finally coming, I knew that it was going to be the opposite. I knew it was going to be the time where you could just soak up the knowledge of the universe. And that was around the time when I was in spiritual school and everything. And it was a great time. I was being given power. I mean, it was wonderful spiritually those years, if you remember, if you experienced that. And then, I just kept growing and developing and searching and finding until, we got to 2013 and 2014 is when I found the end of my formula. And then 2016 is when I started the ministry. So this whole process of right before the 2012 sign, and then my continual development up until now has been right on track of what Revelation 12, the timeline, talks about. So that's how I knew it was real, and that's how I found it. I mean, well, Yahushua just gave it to me, obviously, but so this is what I did. We talked before about the micro and macro meanings. So you have a micro level where this happened to you in your life, and then you have the macro level where this is a universal truth, right? So this is Revelation 12, the woman and the dragon. So right here, the sign of Revelation 12 happened in 2012. So right here, I put 2012. So if you count, then that makes this 2013, verse 3 is 2014, verse 4 is 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. And it adds up with the timeline I already gave you guys, because from 2012 to 2019, guess what, y'all? It's 7 years. Where's my microphone? I need my microphone. Drop the microphone, walk away. 7 years, y'all. Tell me it's a coincidence. Tell me it being 7 years is a coincidence. How long? I've been talking about 2019 for, I don't know, all year, okay? Because that's what the other timelines say, that is popping off in 2019. So 2019, 2020, because you have to go from April to April, that's when Satan is getting his army together, okay? He got 5 groups of the Satan army, just like we have 5 groups of the bridal army of Yahushua, okay? So it matches up. Now what I'm going to try to do is explain this to y'all. I assume that this video I'm doing right now will be in 2 parts. So in 2012, that's when the sign happened. 2013, she was pregnant and cried out in pain about to give birth. Now, for me, this is my micro experience. My giving birth is what I'm doing with my ministry, meaning the Wakefulness Theology. Okay, so at this time, I was, all of this was coming together. I mean, like I said, it started in 1999, but it wasn't until this time where I started to put the pieces together and understand I'm supposed to decode names and all of that stuff. Also, I had a lot of stuff going in my personal life about literally giving birth. That's a personal story. I'm not going to tell you guys about that. But yes, this happened to me. Okay. 2014, another sign appeared in heaven, and it was an enormous dragon with 10 horns and 7 crowns. Now, just so you guys know, that happens every year, and it's in the Draco constellation. Now, this is 2014. So if what I'm saying is true, okay, if what I'm saying is true, then something special should have happened in the Draco constellation in 2014. Because this sign, this Revelation 12 sign, only happens, like, according to Nine Nanya, the next time it's going to happen is like 500 years from now. Like I said, I don't have any way to prove that's true because I don't know. That's what she says. But I assume that it's not a sign that happens every 5 days, right? We know that it happens not very often. So if it was true that this sign actually happened in 2012 as opposed to 2017, then there should be something specific inside the Draco constellation that did not happen in any other year. Guess what, boo? Boop. Yes, the Draco constellation in the northern sky. By the way, it has 88 modern constellations. So the number 88. How long have we been talking about the 88? If you don't know, got to look back at the old videos. 88. How long? Months we've been talking about 88. Okay, so here we go. And then it says the Dracoid meteor shower. It happens in October 8th. So this happens every year around October. So it needs to be something special that happened in 2014. And what was it? Boop! The astrologers find a new mega-Earth in 2014 in the Draco constellation, the newfound mega-Earth Kepler 10, because you know what? It needs 10 horns. Da, da, da. Kepler 10 circles a sun-like star every 45 days, and it is located 560 light years from Earth in the constellation Draco. Boom chakalaka. Where is my microphone? I really need to. Okay, this is my microphone, y'all. So in 2014, let's go back, because y'all not hearing me. This is my microphone. Yeah, now I'm having fun. It's kind of fun. Right here, 2014, then another sign appeared in heaven, an enormous red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns and 7 crowns on its heads. All right. In 2014, they found a planet in the constellation Draco. Did that happen this year in 2017? Did it happen any other year? It did not. It happened in 2014. Thank you very much for coming. Bye-bye. Boop. All right. So in 2014, as far as the sign appearing, that's when I found the hidden code in the ancient book that helps me define the words. In 2014, that's when that sign happened for me. Okay. 2015, a tale of the stars, and this is talking about the asteroid, the meteor shower that happens every year. So in 2015 is when I started to. That's when the Holy Father told me to write every day into destruction. Right, so that's when I got that message, and that's when I started writing. So my baby, me as a servant of Yahushua, my baby is this wakefulness theology work, right? And whatever result that is, whatever people are brought to Yahushua through the work, or whatever that is. And this is my micro meaning, okay. And so in 2015 was when he told me to start writing it every day, okay? And that has produced what you will be reading in 2023, okay? And what you see on my website. In 2016, she gave birth. That's when I started my ministry. And if you look back at my first videos, I mean, they're hard to look at because compared to now, that the quality is not great. It's when I first started. But I explain in one of those videos exactly why I started my ministry on November 13th. the day of the Christchurch earthquake, and it was super highly prophetic, man. I mean, but I can't get into that right now, but I talk about it in the old videos. That's when I gave birth to this ministry. This is my micro timeline that matches Revelation 12, that I'm telling you. That's how I know the sign really happened in 2012, because my life followed this timeline. And then 2017, and here we are. And what am I doing? This series is called, and so look, this series is called The Secret Meeting Place. When I do these videos, guys, I'm not coming on here to do the video because I'm bored. I mean, you don't know me, but I got a whole bunch of stuff going on in my life, okay? A whole bunch of stuff. I got a music ministry. I got a full-time job. I'm not here by myself. I got a family. I'm not doing this for entertainment. I do it because the Holy Spirit urges me to do this, and if I don't do it, I'm being disobedient. And I don't get no kind of peace if I don't do it, okay? I do my job and everything just goes on handy dandy. I don't do it and I suffer. I suffer if I am not obedient, okay? So what I'm telling you right here is, this 2017, the woman fled into the wilderness to a place prepared for her by God, where she might be taken care of for 102,060 days. That is exactly what this whole series is about. It's about knowing the difference between the secret, the real meeting place, and the false meeting place. That is the whole point of this series that I've been talking about. And there's a Bible verse talking about, I'm going to have to put it on the screen because I can't remember, talking about the secret meeting place, okay? And I've been talking about how the false meeting place is AI, and that is artificial intelligence, and that is represented by the global brain and the Internet of Things and the all of that technology stuff. And then the real meeting place is a spiritual place where Yahushua will call his children who hear his voice and follow his commands, and we will be protected, okay? This is exactly 2017. Is that not even proof? That's what I've been preaching on all, like, for months, guys. Come on. We're going to be protected. It's just like the sister's dream from South Africa. She had the dream where there were people going, not only her, but Brother Rob. I had my dreams. I put that in the video called Wade in the Water, Weighed, Wade, as in judged, right? And that goes with Wade in the water. But I wrote it Wade in the water because of that was in Brother Rob's dream. So you guys have to go back and look at that to have more information. But we were all dreaming about people in a river in dirty water, okay? And there was a bridge, and then in the south, the sisters' dream from South Africa, there were some of us on the grass, and then the other ones were in the river and they died, you know. In Brother Rob's dream, they go to heaven, and in her dream, she saw the bodies in the water. So that's why we were saying in those videos when I was talking about those dreams that there is going to be an event. And the reason I say that, not only because of the dreams, but because of the hidden timeline in John 19:21-19. It's talking about how the way that he will honor Yahushua in his death. So I was saying that in 2019, at least we go April to April, so there's going to be a group of Christians who will be passing, who will be going at that time, okay? So, but up until 2019, because there's a transition that's happening now, 2017, that has started. I talked about that in the video Wade in the Water, where I said it's a series of dominoes that are going to fall. The first domino has already fallen, and that got kicked off with the eclipse and everything that's happened since the eclipse. So the first domino has fallen. So now we're just seeing this series of events that are going to unfold, and it's going to lead up to the death of a group of saints. But what I'm saying is that, and that's the first group to go. Revelation 6 that is happening right now is us being protected in the Father, like what I was explaining, like you put on the ring and you go to another time-space dimension, okay? And having the ability to do that and being protected and hidden in Yahushua. So it's a spiritual practice that gets you there, okay? It's a spiritual practice. And I feel so strongly, right now I feel like I'm there actually. If there was a hurricane and you went to this place inside your spirit, you probably would just not be touched. You know, I can just see like you sitting there like, you know, just like, and then everything flying around you and you not being touched. Okay? This is the wilderness. It's the same as Bilbo Baggins putting on that ring and nobody can see him and hear him, and you know, he was in this other realm. This is the wilderness, and that's what I've been talking about all year long. And so now that makes sense right here. So the 1,260 days is pretty much 3.5 years that we're going to be safe. You know, the ones that are in the wilderness, the ones that are spiritually mature and able to be in that hiding place with Yahushua, because he calls you. He called us. I gave you the message where it says, welcome, Vinny Vinny. You know if it's true because you got the message, because Yahushua came to you and he told you. So that's how you know I'm telling the truth. Okay? If you didn't get the message, I would say it's not too late. Y'all need to get on the good foot, yo. But the 144,000 have already been sealed. Now, I talked about that in some video. I don't know which one, but that has already happened. Okay, and now we're waiting for them to come out, which will happen very soon, maybe even now. So 2018, then war broke out in heaven. Well, it does not take a psychic to see that we're on the brink of war, and we know that's going to happen any day. So that could go up from 2018 to March 2019. Right here. And I've been saying that for a long time, that the spiritual war is about to be manifest on earth. So it's just every day we wake up and we haven't had the bomb, we haven't had the tsunami, it's just a blessing, because it's coming. Everybody knows it's coming. We're just waiting for what day when we're going to say, oh, it was today, right? It might be September 11th next year, as far as we know, or September 23rd or whatever, who knows. 2019, but he was not strong enough and lost their place in heaven. So this is when Satan loses and falls to earth. And that falls right in line with the great dragon was hurled down, and that ancient Satan and da-da-da-da. And that falls right in line with Wakefulness Theology. I've been explaining to you guys the new stream. With Wakefulness Theology, you can decode anything, okay? So in my name, my social security number, my phone number, all my numbers that pertain to me, my driver's license number, whatever. I have a file where I've decoded everything, and I've lined up all of I'll show you. See what you see on the screen right here? That is a letter line. If you don't know, go back to my old playlist, and I explain what that is. Okay, I don't have time to do that in this video. So what I have is like a series of letter lines that have 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and it just goes down, in order. So I put all of my letter lines that pertain to 2019 here, all of my letter lines that pertain to 2020 in another place, so I grouped all of my letter lines by year in a file. Okay. So what I was able to do was to kind of see like a map of, what is supposed to come, because it talks about the past, present, and the future. It talks about everything. There's nothing hidden. Once you have Wakefulness Theology, there's nothing else is hidden. Everything is clear and in the light. Nothing else is hidden. Okay. So in the letter lines, that's when Yahushua showed me the other hidden Bible timelines. I could see it because it matches with my news stream. So for example, in one of my years, it might say, let's say 2020, it says the king of Persia. And then it might say that I resist the king of Persia, right? I'll show you the letter line. So that's how I knew that matched. Okay, and that's how I knew that that was a timeline, because the same thing that is saying in the Bible verse is the same thing that it says in my news stream. Does that make sense? I hope. So right here, we're talking about April all the way up until March 2021. We have the appearance of the new Prince of Persia. And I've said in other videos that for the moment, my speculation is that that is Mark Zuckerberg. We will not know if it's Mark Zuckerberg until the next presidential election. But I tell you what, if Mark Zuckerberg wins the next presidential election, he is the Prince of Persia. He is the Prince of Persia, y'all. If the next president of the United States, we got to look and see. Anyway, dude is showing up between 2019 and I guess I would say March 21. I would say he's going to be here. It's in my timeline, and it's right here in this hidden Bible timeline. And the reason I say Mark Zuckerberg also is because what I'm trying to do in this video is compare the hidden timeline with the technology, so that you guys can see that some people are not religious or spiritual or whatever, but when you look at the technology timeline, it's like there's no more argument. Life as we know it is over. Whether you believe it's the end time of the Bible or not, you look at that technology timeline and you will see the same thing that a religious person is saying. What I did was I took September 23rd, 2017, because like I said, that sign was not representing Revelation 12 in the Bible, but it is still highly significant because it's talking about the Prince of Persia, right? So I wanted to know, if you added 1,260 days to that, what does that give you? And it's March 2021. So it's funny because you guys know that in the timeline with the 144,000, Adar is a highly prophesized time of the year, and it's also in the timeline for the escape. And 1,260 days is Adar 2021. So it completely matches the timeline, completely, okay? So what I believe in my heart, my understanding, is that we're going to be cool. So the 144,000, we're going to be cool. The 5 groups of the bridal army, we're going to be cool from the sign of Revelation 12 that just happened, or will happen, September 23rd, until this time right here. We're going to be cool. Meaning everything around us is going to be falling apart. I mean, we're going to have war, rumor of war. The verse. Sorry to go back a little bit. So this is what I was explaining in the timeline, in the letter line 144. You see right here, Adar. So that's the timing, right? Which is March. I explained that in the video 144. So you go back and look at that. And so right here, Luke 21. Okay, and so this is Luke, Matthew, Mark, Luke. It's the 3rd book of the Bible, and so the 21st verse is 3:21. Okay, 3:21 is also March 21. Okay, and this is Adar, and often it's Purim depending on when it happens. So the total eclipse was on the 21st. So again, the 21st, the 21st. Hurricane Harvey was on the 25th. Okay, so that would be Luke 25. And then Luke 25 is, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the seas and the wave roaring. So the sea and the wave roaring, and the eclipse 25 on the 25th. Okay, so it's right here. But what I want to say is that Luke 21, so as the 144 and the 5 groups of the bridal army, we understand Luke 21. We understand not only the meaning of it, but we understand it in reality. We can hologram it and see it in reality, right? And that's what this is. So in Luke 21, take heed and not be deceived, for many shall come in my name. And when you hear of wars and commotions of wars, don't be terrified. And nations shall be against nations, and you're going to have earthquakes in various places, and pestilence, and fear, and la di da di da 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 da. So this is, you can read it yourself. That is Luke 21, and that is what's going to be happening. Okay. So, slowly unfolding Luke 21, but we're going to be cool. We are not going to be touched by it. We're going to be chilling. I mean, that's what he told me. He said that the designer is to write everything into destruction every day. So that's what I'm doing. So how can you write in destruction? I was thinking about that. I was like, I'm here in my house. I'm comfortable. I got power, I got clean water, and I got electricity, and I'm able to do these videos. Okay. There's people in Houston or somewhere else or the islands who can't do that. So in order for me to write every day into destruction, that means that I gotta be okay. Because I need a pencil and paper at least. You might not have a pencil and paper if you're living in a shelter, because your house was destroyed. So this is what I'm telling you guys. For 1,260 days, if you know the real hiding place, if you know the meeting place, if you've understood the message that I've been telling you and you have gotten the same message directly, we're going to be cool for 1,260 days. All right. And at this time is when we come out and we fight. And I know that because of the letter line. It says, I'll show you in the next part. Okay. So, did that make sense? According to the timeline of Revelation 12, we are at the point, I'm going to go back to try to review. Right here, we are protected because we're spiritually mature, we hear his voice, and we follow his commands. We will be protected until March 2021. So we representing the ones that are on that grass, not the ones that are in the dirty river. The ones that are in the dirty river, they got something else happening to them in 2019. Okay, so here I looked up, 2021. I was like, that sounds like really close to the presidential election, right? So I was like, well, when is the presidential election exactly? And it turns out that it's January 2021. So that's why I said it has to be. It has to be. I mean, Yahushua didn't tell me that the next president of the United States would be the Prince of Persia. I'm just putting two and two together, that it has to be. It has to be connected. Look at the timing. So if the next president of the United States is the Prince of Persia, especially if it's Mark Zuckerberg, y'all, I'm telling you, then he's elected in January 20th, 2021, and then we come out of our secret hiding place and we do like Caleb and we go up to take it over. As we go up to take it over, like in Caleb, like in Numbers 13, 30. It lines up. Tell me it don't. Tell me it don't line up. You know it does. You see it right here. And I thought it was so funny because I Googled 2021 presidential candidates, okay? And it says President Donald Trump of the Republican Party, who was elected in 2016, will be eligible to seek re-election. So wouldn't you expect to see Donald Trump here? Why they got Joe Biden here? That makes no sense whatsoever. That makes no sense whatsoever. That's how much they hate that man. Oh my gosh, look at that. I don't even understand. What does that mean? I don't know. I think it means that he will not be the president in 2021. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like whoever was in charge of this, they don't want it to be Trump. They want it to be Joe Biden, is what it looks like. But I thought that was funny. It's not going to be Joe Biden. Okay, so this is a good place to stop. I will come back next week and I'm going to do a comparison side by side with Revelation 12 and John 21 and Numbers 13 so that you guys can see that they match up. They're telling the same story, okay? And it all points to where we are right now in our lives, okay? So Thank you for watching. This is the end of part 1. I will be back with part 2 next Friday. I try to upload a video every Sabbath, Friday night. I pray, please, please, if you can, please, oh my gosh, honor the Friday night, Saturday Sabbath. It will change your life. It will change your life. Absolutely. My life changed when I started doing that. It's getting on time. It's getting on the Father's time. It's putting Him in the center of your life, and everything changes. So I'll see you guys Friday night. I pray that this has been clear. I pray that it's helpful. And at the least, if you don't understand what I'm saying, or if you don't believe what I'm saying, at least I hope that it gives you some question to not follow everyone just because they're saying, that something is true. It's the opposite. If everybody is saying it's true, then it's probably not true. Okay. God bless you, and I hope you have a good day. And shalom, brothers and sisters.